Martin's. Oh, we've got a family of wild turkeys. You guys run quick. Thanksgiving is next month. St. Martin's is a beautiful little quaint community centered around fishing and now more than ever centered around tourism. The Airbnb industry has increased quite a bit since tourism started coming to St. Martin's in the last few years. One of the biggest draws, of course, is the Fundy Trail, and now that the connecting road takes visitors all the way to either Sussex or Fundy National Park, Hopewell Cape, where Hopewell Rocks is, as well as Cape and Rage, and all the way to Moncton. So having that connection has really increased the tourism industry here. Now, as you enter St. Martin's, you will catch a glimpse of one of the most popular features of St. Martin's. And that is of the sea caves. See, they have reserved for bus parking. This is a very popular area, and especially at low tide, when people can actually walk out into those caves and explore. As you can see, the tide is quite high right now, and when we have high tide, kayakers can enjoy paddling through the caves. And we will catch a glimpse of it driving from the other direction too, which is even prettier. Popular spot to eat is the Caves restaurant, world famous chowder. Coming through this way, as you will see in a moment. Beautiful harbor of St. Martin's. And then as we make this turn, beautiful new 2-lane covered bridge, keeping the history of covered bridges in New Brunswick. And just take a look at this. Isn't this spectacular? And that lighthouse is an information center for anyone wanting to stop and get information. Such a picturesque little village. general store. And of course the gas station. I think it's worth recording this coming through from the other angle as well, because it is just as pretty, and you get that beautiful glimpse of beautiful boats. They're gorgeous. The kayaks are ready to go for high tide. Yes, as I say, when we come through here, we get this angle to see the caves at a nicer viewpoint. These caves are 7 kilometers outside of our gate to Fundy Trail. Oh, you can see there is some kayakers out there right now, enjoying high tide. Lovely. And I'll just pull off right up here so we can get a little better view. Pretty. Now, driving through from the west entrance heading east, you do see some magnificent views, and I will stop at P1, parking lot 1, to give you a little glimpse of some of these beautiful views. First, get a glimpse of how beautiful the scenery is here, and now especially with some fall colors coming into view. Yeah, spectacular. Lots of picnic areas around for people to enjoy. And that's part of our multi-use trail, which is 10 kilometers long, and it can be biked, hiked, or walked. Gets you a little bit closer to the coastal views rather than taking the road. Look at the turkeys. You silly turkeys, get off the roads. Get up there quick. Melvin Beach Lookout, parking lot 2, is another one of my favorites. Closer, and I'll show you some of the beautiful red sumac trees that are in bloom right now too. What a beautiful view. It shows you the depth of some of these cliffs. And what you're seeing now is Pangburn Beach. Melvin Beach is to the left of the trees, and Pangburn Beach can be walked but only accessible at low tide. So Pangbourne Beach and Melvin Beach are beside each other, and they are separated by an outcrop of rocks. And when it's low tide, you can get around those rocks, but when it's high tide, you will be cut off for 6 hours and 13 minutes. So keep in mind, if you are walking from Melvin Beach to Pangbourne Beach, be very mindful of the tides. And the tides from the Bay of Fundy, if anyone knows, they can come in very, very quickly. Every 6 hours and 13 minutes it goes from low to high, and then another 6 hours and 13 minutes back to low. Views for miles. And on a nice clear day like today, we can see Nova Scotia across the bay, and we'll get another view of it as we continue on through the park. Now we are just going from west to east to get a different view, and we will soon be approaching one of the most beautiful lookouts from this angle, Martin Head. First one I come to is Quaco Lookout. With part of Long Beach showing. Just very, very impressive. And way over there is Quaco Lighthouse. Can't quite see it without a nice panoramic, or a zoom in lens, but it is very beautiful today. Spectacular Martin Head lookout. Never gets old. And you can see across there, that's Nova Scotia, and that island over there is Île-Haute, H-A-U-T-E, and it is abbreviated as High Island. French term. Very interesting story. If you Google Île-Haute, it is 300 feet high and very hard to get to. It's certainly not something that you can canoe out to get. Welcome to Long Beach. Beautiful morning. With the sun coming up. The tide rolling in. This is a great example of a horizontal tide. The highest tides in the world here at Bay of Fundy. And when we have low tide, all of those rocks get exposed. You can walk out onto the ocean floor, and that area over there will be sandy. You can explore. So I will show you another clip when we have low tide. Gorgeous. We do have an interpretive center where we even supply a beach towel if you forget your beach towel. We have a food truck, and we have an interpreter that can answer any of your questions. Just a beautiful, beautiful morning. And now, welcome to the Big Salmon River. We'll take a little walk. Especially pretty again, this time of year, this is where you'll see the prettiest views. This is a very popular here. So pretty. Welcome to the suspension footbridge. This is actually the site of where the original bridge was, back when this was lumbering days. And you can get an idea of what life was like then. This was a dam where logs would be brought down from other areas and dammed up here to take out to the bay to be shipped or used for shipbuilding. Once thriving salmon fishing here, no longer, but you can see how clear the water is. We do research every year to try to see if any salmon are returning, and they are doing different tests trying to lure salmon back into this area. And as I mentioned earlier, there's the little area where some people will congregate in July and August when it's hot and sunny, dip their feet into the water and have a little swim. Beautiful big salmon river. So I am back at Long Beach at low tide, and as you can see, the view is significantly different. So I'm going to take you down a little wooded pathway to a beautiful lookout point called Black Point. The interesting feature on this lookout is that Pangburn Beach and Melvin Beach are separated by an outcrop of rock that I mentioned earlier, and this is a viewpoint where you can actually see those two beaches and that outcrop of rock. So this is a nice little short walk from Black Point Lookoff. And from up here it's starting to get covered by trees. But this is one of the nicest viewpoints for taking in those two beaches. Beautiful day. This is the Walton Glen Gorge area. As you can see, it's under construction with a new reception area being constructed. Next year it will be a gift shop, snack bar with beverages, and currently operating out of that little trailer. This is the maps. This is the trail portion of Walton Glen. This is what we call the shortcut trail that goes directly to the observation deck for Walton Glen. And this is McLeod Loop, which is a 3.8 kilometer loop for taking in 2 waterfalls. This is the Macumber Wetlands Trail. And if you wanted to go down into the gorge, this is what we call the Eye of the Needle. Very popular area for hikers. And just listen to the silence out here. And after walking 1 kilometer, you reach the observation deck. This opened in 2020. Very much rain this year. When that is flowing, we call that the Horsetail Falls because it flows like a horsetail. Over to the left, that is what that is Walton Glen Falls, and you will see that up close if you walk down into the gorge on the Eye of the Needle Trail. But you do have some beautiful colors in the fall on the gorge. And then you can look right out into the Bay of Fundy. And way out there, you can see today on the horizon is Île Haute, H-A-U-T-E, French for High Island. And you will see that island all along the trail as you drive from east to west or west to east. Beautiful quiet morning in October. Gorgeous.